Hey Leicester Mercury food fanatics, thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to be cooking wonton soup, but just with king prawns this time, because normally there's pork in there, but I know a lot of people that don't eat red meat, so we're going to go for the pescatarian view. Alright. So like all Chinese cookery, we've got to start with the ingredients. It's all about the preparation. So if we look down to the chopping board, I've already started this morning, so we've got some sea salt, some white pepper, some ginger, which I'm going to go through in a second about how we're going to prep this, soy sauce and sesame oil. Now these ingredients here, along with the stock, is for the broth. So obviously that's your classic wonton soup. Then we've got to start looking at the filling. So the filling again was the king prawns, which are just here, which I'm going to chop up, but we're going to keep them quite meaty and big pieces. Again, sesame oil to finish, or with this one actually we're going to use to marinate. A little bit of corn flour, which binds the ingredients together. Some soy sauce, some white vinegar, and some finely minced ginger, and then just a little bit of egg, just so we can seal the wontons. Okay, so everything else is prepared. The only thing I've got to do now is the ginger. So at the moment we've got just over a thumb-sized piece of ginger there, and again this is just going to put a little bit of background heat into the wonton soup. Now the thing is with ginger, if you're not too keen on ginger, keep the pieces big. So therefore we slice and we keep them in quite big pieces, and then you can pick them out if you don't really want to eat them. Whereas I want to try and get a little bit more heat within the soup, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to julienne these. So, and that's just basically a posh word for finely slice. So if I can stack these up. So that's the first lot. We'll do that one and that one. Now because the ginger's smaller, we're going to get more of a ginger hit in the soup now. Now this is really simple. This is just a matter of throwing all the ingredients together and bringing them up to the boil. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our chicken stock. Actually I'll bring the wok over here, it might be a bit easier. So we've got our chicken stock, which we put straight in. Now there's about 750ml in there. Now this is plain chicken stock from a cube. If you want to make your own chicken stocks and you've got time, you've got some in the freezer, by all means do so. Okay, I'm not going to add the salt until the end, but I'm going to add a pinch of pepper at this point. So actually a couple of pinches of pepper. This is soy sauce, and there's about a tablespoon of soy there. Again, I'm going to finish off with the sesame oil, and then obviously the last thing I've got to do is just transfer my ginger into the pan. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this up to a boil and let it simmer away for about 10 minutes. But we're actually going to cook the wontons in the soup. So this is a one-pot recipe. Okay, soup's on as we know. Now time for the filling. So I've got 200 grams of fresh king prawns there. Don't use cooked king prawns because it doesn't work. So we'll just empty those out. And again, I'm going to roughly chop these into pieces. And again, it's going to be in a filling. You don't have to mince these down, because when I eat my wontons, I want to know what I'm eating. And if I just get a big ball of mush, it's not actually that quite nice. It is a bit messy. Yeah, this is the Chinese blender as well, or food processor. I've never really used a food processor outside of Chinese cookery. So everything is done with a chopper. And that's peeling vegetables, to chopping meat, to filleting whatever. So, okay, so that's very roughly chopped. That goes into the bowl. Okay, now sesame oil. We normally only ever use sesame oil at the end of a dish. It's there to season. In this case, we can use it as a marinade. So we're going to pop in about a teaspoon of sesame oil. There's about a teaspoon of corn flour. This is just going to help bind the ingredients together. Followed by some soy sauce. This is Chinese rice wine vinegar, but if you haven't got this, you can use cider vinegar. Obviously not the balsamic or the standard vinegar, because it's a bit harsh. And then we've got a 1.5 teaspoons of finely minced ginger. Now I'm just going to season this as well. So again, pinch of white salt and a pinch of pepper. Pepper first, then salt. That was my mistake. And I'm just going to bind this together. Okay, so the filling is completely mixed and it's sat for about 5 minutes now, just so it's marinated. what I'm going to do, these are the wonton skins. You can buy these. Some supermarkets are selling them now, but most Oriental supermarkets you'll get them in the freezer section, and they are frozen. Obviously I bought these yesterday, so I've allowed them to defrost, but these are the ones that I use because I think these are the nice ones. So I'm just going to use my chopper and we're going to get into the plastic. You can make these, but I think it's like a lot of people now, they don't make phyllo pastry because it's just easy to buy. So it's the same with the wonton skin, especially when we're looking at mass numbers. So, okay guys, so we're just going to take a single wrapper. We're going to place it in the palm of our hand with the point, one of the points looking directly at us. I'm going to take the back of the spoon, which has been in the egg wash, and I'm just going to egg wash the two sides furthest away from me. With the same spoon, I'm going to take some of the filling and pop it straight into the centre. And then I take the side closest to me and I pinch it to the top end, holding the package in my left hand, and then with my right hand I'm just going to pinch as close as I can to the filling, just sealing one of the edges. I then repeat on the opposite side and we seal this in. And again, I'm trying to expel all of the air so it cooks evenly. I then place the wonton flat on my hand with the spoon again, a little bit more egg wash, and I put it onto one of the sides, placing my fingers, and I'm just going to wrap it over. And there we have a wonton. Now this wonton shape, there are about 4 different shapes you can make. Now this one it represents Chinese money, which is very lucky. So hence that's why I try and fold these ones. So that's how the gold ingots used to look back in ancient days in China. Okay, we're going to make a batch of these and then we'll get cooking. Okay. Okay, wontons are made. We're just going to pop these straight into the hot stock that we've got bubbling away here. Now, I've used a wok for authenticity, but you can do this in a normal saucepan because obviously you want to try and submerge these under the water, or underneath the stock, should we say. Now, the reason they're called wontons, they're called wontons, and in Chinese it translates as swallow clouds. And the idea being is that when you drop it into the water, they should float when they're cooked, and therefore they get the cloud formation. So it's one of those strange Chinese facts that I know. Now, because these are king prawns, they'll only take about 2 minutes. If you are doing pork or chicken, or a mixture of either, obviously give them a little bit longer. And we're just going to let that boil away. Okay, they've had about 3 minutes now, so I'm just going to check the seasoning before I take them out. So we're going to add a touch more white pepper, and I mean a touch, a little tiny bit of salt, and we're going to finish off with a drizzle of sesame oil. This goes in last minute, so it means we're finished now. Heat goes off. I can find the thing. I'll grab my spoon, give everything one last coating, and then we're just going to serve this straight into our bowl. The last thing we're going to do is sprinkle over a little bit of spring onion, and we're done. So there's our spring onion pre-chopped, and give that a little bit of a sprinkle over. That's our homemade wonton soup. Please give it a go. For further recipes and what I'm up to across Leicestershire and the rest of the UK, please log on to gotlingwan.com, and I shall see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.